Hi guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to the channel. So today's card, I'll be using the Stencils 360 tool, and along with that, the stamp set is going to be Heartfelt Notes stamp set. I'll be using the You Are Amazing sentiment. And then for the die cuts, I'll be using the Warmest Wishes and Heartfelt Notes Perfect Penguin cut. And then the stencils, it's going to be the Sacred Lotus, which comes with 3 stencils, and I'll be using the Orbit stencil once again that I had used on my previous project. So let's get started on the stenciling. So here is the Sacred Lotus stencil, and this is the largest Lotus stencil, and this is an 8-inch, and I'm going to follow the suggested symbol there, which is the heart, and that's at the 22.5 degrees intervals. And the inks I'll be using is the Distress Oxide in Fossilized Amber. And then at the bottom of the petal inside, I'm blending in a little bit of the Distress Oxide in Dried Marigold. So again, I'm following all the heart symbols, and that's at the 22.5 degrees intervals, and I wanted to complete the whole flower image there. So that is what it looks like. And then next, here is the Orbit stencil. I decided not to use the stencil tool there. I'm just going to ink up one of the images because I just want that one image, and I'm going to fussy cut it out. And I'm going between the 2 inks, and that's Walnut Stain in the Distress Oxide ink, and then the regular Distress ink. So then next, here I cut out the Lotus image that I colored earlier, and I cut it to 8.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to be creating a slimline card. So I had cut it out to fit that size, and then I used a rectangle die to trim it out a little bit more. And here I'm using the smaller Lotus stencil, and again, I'm not using the tool, but I just wanted to get a few of those petals on the corners of my cardstock there. And I'm using Distress Oxide in Mode Lawn. So right here, I'm showing only 2 of the corners being inked, but later on I do decide to do 3, and I do leave one corner blank for the sentiment. So that is what that currently looks like. And then next, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. So again, the sentiment is You Are Amazing, and it's from the Heartfelt Notes stamp set. And here I'm just laying out, or I'm positioning the cardstock right there on the left side, and then the sentiment will be going on the bottom right, and I'm using VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. So I go ahead and stamp it once, and I get a nice crisp image. So that is my completed background there. As you can see, I do that third petal leaf on the left side. So now I have 3 of those images. So I cut out the Orbit stencil image with the coordinating dies, the one that looks like a little flower, and I created a little frame with the small circle die. And then, as you can see, I'm getting my background piece. I'm getting that small circle die and putting it in the center of the flower, as I am going to be creating a shaker card. So I run it through my die cutting machine, just making sure it's nice and centered and where I want that window to be. Then I go ahead and take this scalloped rectangle in a brown cardstock, and I go ahead and adhere that to my slimline card there, and that is 8.5 by 3.5, and the scallop um, rectangle there is a little bit smaller. So here I'm trying to center that orbit image, and I put a little bit of removable tape because I want it to be really centered, I go ahead and use some liquid adhesive and place that on that brown cardstock. And then I just go ahead and remove that purple tape there. So then now I'm going to seal off the window by putting a piece of acetate sheet over that or under that little circle die cut there. And then I go ahead and adhere that little flower frame on the front. As you can see, the image I was going for was a sunflower, and so now I'm just deciding whether or not to put that foam adhesive tape directly to the card or to the window front. So I go ahead and fill up that backside of that um, stenciled piece with foam adhesive to create my shaker window, and then also putting it throughout the rest of the back so that it's nice and sturdy when I go ahead and close it off. So then at the top there you can see I have some sunflower like sprinkles, so it has some green leaves and like little sunflowers. So I go ahead and put that in the center over that brown flower part, I guess you can say. And then here I'm peeling off the adhesive sheet and getting ready to lay it on my card base. So here I'm centering it, making sure it's nice and even, and then I go ahead and press on the back so that I'm sealing up all the foam adhesive. So lastly, to complete the card, since that bottom right is void of green petal leaf there, I go ahead and take 3 of those sunflower sprinkles and glue it on the bottom right. And that pretty much completes the card. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card, how I turned that lotus flower and that orbit stencil image into a sunflower. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.